When I think back, when I try to remember the first year in business, I think about Jackson Avenue, the first property that we worked at, a small building, probably 1,100 square foot in the beginning. Before we built on, years later, we would get to the point that that facility needed a warehouse more than the 150 square feet that we stored things in. You know, we were in that place for, from 2007 till 2014, so over 7 years. I think that we did the best that we could when we were there. We turned an office out of a back closet into a place for me to sit and to try to work on things in business. And there was an office for Philip, our first employee. He and I starting together very early on. I remember a single pickup truck. I remember riding around with my father-in-law, and he would answer the phone and give people quotes, or tell them that we would come give them a quote for the original work that we were involved in, and then I would show up and go and meet the customer and sit down on their front porch and listen to them and just try to be helpful. So it's sweet memories. It's pretty poor memories. I mean, you know, in the beginning, to have $2,000 in the bank at the end of the week was a pretty big deal. To just have 2 or 3 employees and hope that there was enough work for Thursday and Friday when we started work on Monday. I mean, that was the reality. I don't think that I lived in fear. We were excited. We're just so happy about coming to work every day. And I think back to a lot has changed and a lot's not changed. The same spirit of enjoying the people that you work with and making a difference for customers. We've done that. We've done that since the beginning. And you know, when I came into business, there was a different existing model. There was a different business than there is today. And not long after walking into the world of entrepreneurism, you know, I remember getting a paper advertisement from a company in Connecticut that I'd never heard of before. And frankly, when I looked at the original piece of paper, the offer to come and visit their facilities and be part of, or consider being part of their team, I dismissed it. I felt like it was just one more person trying to get at my infinitely valuable and not very accessible time. You know, I was trying to answer the phone and see the people and then go do the work and learn about paying bills, and I mean, just struggling through it. And so, you know, I don't believe in coincidence, because that piece of paper didn't make it into the trash can like so many pieces had before. What happened? What happened was providence. A month later, 6 weeks later, I picked that piece of paper back up and I read it front to back, and something sparked. Something caught my attention, and I visited their website, and I did something really uncharacteristic at the time. I took out my credit card that might have had a $1,000 limit on it, and I bought a plane ticket for myself. And I said, I'm going to go meet these people. I'm going to go hear what they have to say, because I think they're onto something. And, you know, joining that Basement Systems network in Connecticut, to go and visit a facility, a business that did $10 million of work, that was so out far of the stratosphere of what I was living in. It wasn't about, was that impossible? I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just trying to survive till the next day. And so, you know, we met these really, really kind people, and they had just some different ideas. And, you know, the funny thing is, we didn't take them up on their offer. We came home and said, you know, this is great, and if we can use it, if a customer could use it here, then we'll sign up. Well, we went home, and the very next weekend, I met a customer that needed some help. They had water in their crawl space, and sold them a system. And then I had to call back up to the people in Connecticut and say, we're in. And, you know, the rest, they say, is history. I mean, it's been an incredible ride. We've we grew, and it was just fun, not knowing any better, just getting up every day and just seeing a customer and selling a job and knowing that we could work till next week and I could do it all over again. There were no salespeople. There was nobody else to answer the phone. There was no one else to do the work. And we hired our first employee or two, and just all of that was challenging and fun. And so the business started to grow, and a year and a half later they said, hey, you're part of this part of our network. What do you think about this foundation part of the network? And I was excited, but we still had all of this debt, and I just didn't feel like we could come on board until we paid that debt off. And so I held off for 6 months and then signed up and became a foundation support works dealer, and about went out of business over it because it's really expensive. I mean, the tools that it takes to do the work, the training, what turned out to be a different sales process. You just can't halfway do those things. You have to fully commit, and I thought it was the biggest mistake that I ever made in business. And honestly, I can tell you that it turned out to be the biggest success. I mean, maybe 60, maybe sometimes 70% of our work all is in foundations, and the sky, cliches are silly, but I cannot yet imagine what I know will be our reality and who will work with us. Where are those big turning points? I mean, they're in a trifold marketing piece that sat on my desk for a couple days. They're in looking at the way that we bought trucks in the past, and I saved up a little money, and I paid $8,000 or $9,000 for our first truck that was not my pickup, and that was paid for, so we didn't have a note on it. That's a turning point. Oh, it's a turning point every time you bring some gifted person onto the team and they take a task that you were doing, but they begin to process it, and you have your talents and you are all in. But what's a turning point? A turning point is when someone else gets all in with you. What happens when they believe so much in the possible that they roll their sleeves up and they say, I'm here. I'm for the long haul. And it's crazy. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, but the enormity of that responsibility to be accountable to all of our staff and their spouses and their children and all of our customers. There's so many turning points. There's so many exciting moments. It really has been, it has been and will continue to be more than I would have originally imagined, but not more than I now can believe. And so we turn to the future and we think about not can something else be next, but what is next and how many more people can we help? Not just the customers. How many more staff can join our team? Can we change their lives to be able to provide for their immediate families, to be able to contribute to their communities? I truly believe that the name Redeemers Group, the culture of Redeemers Group, the movement that this company represents in our Memphis market, in our Little Rock market, wherever we are seeing customers in Arkansas and Mississippi, we're bringing such a different experience, a redefined experience of how someone could and should work with a contractor, and what their higher expectations will drive us to over-deliver, exceed your expectations. I mean, it really is true. And do we have things to work on? I think with clarity just becomes, there just are these moments when you see how much better you can be. And the better we can be, the more we will dynamically grow and our wildest dreams can become a reality. I believe that. God has so much that He empowers us with if we would just trust, and if we would just move forward with that in our mind. Work can just be as fun as not being at work. It really is. When you grow in a business, you're going to if you do the right things, you're going to get recognized. Now, we have awards here. We have a trophy case out in the front room, and when we bought it, we spent $500 on the trophy case for the trophies, and I thought, eesh, is that necessary? Customers don't see it, but our staff do. And then here's the other thing. You get so many awards, you get recognized so many places, you need one. You don't want to put those things in a cardboard box. You want to display them because it gives pride to the team to let them know they are making an impact, and it's being recognized by our peers that don't compete right against us, by other businesses in our areas, by other businesses in the country, literally in the world, that do what we do, and they're like, those guys and girls at Redeemers Group, man, I wish I could work there. And that happens. People tell me that work all over the country. I wish that we worked with you. And I'm like, come join us. So what does the future look like? Well, it's big and bright and exciting. Those are simple adjectives. What does it look like? It looks like over 100 people that are going to work in this business in the coming time. It's going to be yet another facility. We left Jackson Avenue. We had 12 to 1,400 square feet, and we moved to a facility that's 15,000 square feet. Well, guess what? We're about to outgrow it, and we will in 2018. So we're currently looking for a new facility here. We already rent a facility in Little Rock, and we're going to use it more in the future. Heavens, we'll probably purchase the facility in Little Rock at some point. And, what does it look like in Mississippi? We go halfway down the state, and really there's so much more that we could do, and we just need more capable people to join the team. So the future is that Redeemers Group will be a choice place of employment for the city of Memphis, for the city of Little Rock, maybe for the city of Jackson, Mississippi, wherever we decide to further plant down our roots. And we're going to redefine for homeowners how these repairs can go and the type of results they'll have, because we're going to be there during the project and in the weeks and the months, absolutely in the years following, to make sure that they all stay in place. This is going to be the place that I retire from, and it's not just me. Other people that have rolled up sleeves and bought in said, this will be the place that we retire from too. Now, how about that? How about a little bitty dream, and it's more than one guy? But when I started, I needed help that I couldn't yet imagine. And where it's going, I don't know. But I'm really excited to think about it. Thanks.